Looking for a way to get healthy? The Chef You and I program has the answer. Kathryn Raaker and chefs from around the nation will teach even the most inexperienced how to cook. Come into their kitchen and watch them take ordinary foods with loads of calories and fat and turn those foods into healthier dishes. You will be the first to get tips and ideas on foods that are easy to prepare. Now let's join Kathryn and today's chef and learn how to make today's recipes.
Hi, this is Kathryn Raaker of the Chef You and I, and my wonderful friend, banker, and whatever is one of the best chefs that I know around, and her name is Marty Schultes. And today, Marty, what are you making?
Okay, so I'm gonna start off with a wedge salad today. I love a wedge salad when you go to a restaurant, and I just love a wedge salad. I like iceberg lettuce, I like everything on it. So I'm gonna show you a real simple way to make a wedge salad at home. Easy peasy, you know, it's a nice way to start a dinner.
Well, that sounds good. And we have to thank our sponsors today, because if I don't, they probably won't send me anything. Anyhow, our sponsors are the wonderful 360 pans, Americraft, our wonderful sprays, which are these now, and I have to introduce you to this one. This is the Cornhuskers balsamic vinegar spray.
Oh, nice.
And you can spray it on everything, which is really cool. And then, of course, our Cornhuskers Gourmet Duck Fat Spray, which is healthier than anything else you can use, and they have the proof to let you know. And so you've experienced this one.
Yes, we've used that
but
before.
But wait till you try this vinaigrette. It's awesome. The vinegar, balsamic vinegar spray.
Good.
And don't forget this wonderful Wagyu meat that we're going to use in our stir fry. The wonderful Haskell Cattle Company's Wagyu meat. And they have everything. Because you asked me about a rub, they have lots of products that you can go to, and they are the best I've ever tried.
Oh.
I mean that. They're wonderful. So we want to thank them. And so let's go on with the show. What you going to do first?
All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started on this wedge salad. Really easy. The best way to do this, too, is to get all your stuff ready to go. So we've got iceberg lettuce here, some Roma tomatoes, red onions, some carrots, some bacon that's already been crisped up, and then we've got some blue cheese crumbles and synthetic crumbles, salt and pepper, and we're going to use a ranch today on our wedge salad. Sometimes people like blue cheese. You can put anything on it you like. So first off, wash these. I'm going to quarter these so they're all ready to go. I've taken off most of the outside lettuce that's kind of, you know, it just falls off at the top. So we're just going to quarter these. And that's the beauty, I think, of having a wedge salad, is that you don't have to cut up all the lettuce and everything. And these present just absolutely beautiful, I think, too, when they bring them out to you. Get that little part out there. Again. And the way I'm placing these on the plates, all the leaves are up, so it allows you to get all that stuff, the extra stuff in it, and then people don't have to mix it all up. So I'm just going to do 4 of them for right now. I'm going to put them out there. The next thing I'm going to do is going to go ahead and do my tomatoes. Now, my tomatoes, I like to do a little bit differently. I like to cook, but I like gadgets. I love gadgets. So I've got my chopper here, and I'm going to show you on these tomatoes how I'm just going to throw them through there. Because I think tomatoes are one of those things that are just such a pain in the neck, actually, to go ahead and chop up. I'm not a fan of seeds in my stuff, so I'm just going to de-seed all these. Just going to run my finger through and de-seed them. Just like that, leaves you with just a little bit of everything there, because that's really what I want in my salad. I don't want it gooey with seeds. And I like Roma tomatoes. I happen to really like these a lot. And then just a little bit on that one and clean it out. So my gadget here, now again, it's a wonderful little chopper gadget. I just put everything in here, what fits in here. It'll come out, pop it down. It comes out in these nice little squares. I have used this for carrots. I'll use it for the onions. I've used it for celery. Anything that I have that I want in little slices, I'll use it for, which I really, really like. It's easy to clean up, and I'm not spending a million hours chopping things. So again, I'm just cleaning out the insides of these because I don't want a lot of gunk in my salad. I like just the tomato part. You know, when I can use that one. Just a nice firm whack. Nice firm whack. And I have learned it's easier to put the skin side up versus the skin side down. So if you put the skin side up, it comes out a lot nicer. And you can just see how nice those are. Nice little pieces. I'm going to do one more, I think, since we've got 4 heads of lettuce. I'm going to do one more. I also have found, interestingly enough, people who don't really like tomatoes in things, if you chop them up really super small and put them in, they're fine. I have a daughter who's not a fan of tomatoes. As such, like this. Doesn't like red sauce. But if I do this and I put them in really small for her, she's fine. She likes them just well as well. Look at how easy that is. Isn't that amazing? That would have taken me forever to do those tomatoes. So now I'm just going to pull this off. I'm going to put my tomatoes here, put them all in this little dish right here, and start on some onions. Now the other thing this allows me to do, also I have found, is that they're a little wet too. They're a little wet right now. I don't want them super wet when I put them on the salad, so I'll take a napkin and I'll just dry them off a little bit. Onions, who loves doing onions? I hate doing onions. So I'm just taking a nice big slice of a red onion. I've already taken the peel off the outside. I'm going to put it on here and whack it. Put that one on here and whack it. One more slice, I think, will be plenty on that. Not making huge slices, kind of just, you know, 1/4 of an inch. Put it all on there. Sliced. Look at that. Nice. All diced up. Super nice. Super nice. All right. So we've got that part done. I also like on my wedge salad, I like some shredded carrots. So I've got some shredded carrots here. We're going to put a little salt and pepper on it. And again, the cheese. The best part of a wedge salad, of course, is the bacon. Of course, it's the bacon. So we're just going to chop this up. Now, bacon, I don't mind just chopping up a little bit. I wouldn't put it on my gadget, but I do think the best part of a wedge salad is the bacon. This is nice and crispy. It's already been drained. Just going to cut this up a little bit. Slice it up some more. All right. We've got it pretty chopped up. And go through and chop it up a little bit more. I think that would be good enough. All right, so I've got everything I'm going to put on. I'm going to go ahead and start assembling one for you. Take my wedge salad. Kind of depends on what you like the best of things. On all of this, I'm going to do this one with some blue cheese crumbles. Grab here a spoon here from the drawer. Fluff that up a little bit. All right, go ahead. Now I would put a little salt and pepper on just ahead of time. Kind of forget sometimes to put salt and pepper on a salad, but salt brings out the flavor in vegetables. So just a little bit, just brings out the flavor. So nice. So I'm just going to pile as much bacon as I can because I love bacon. Some red onions on there. Again, and it's whatever people like on their wedge salads, but this is kind of a typical wedge salad. I'm going to squeeze that a little bit, make sure I don't have really wet tomatoes. Just looks all pretty there. I like some on the side too, because I like to scoop it up after I get in there, and a few carrots. All right. Now, the best of the best are the crumbles. Again, this is kind of to your tasting, what you like. I like blue cheese crumbles. Some people like feta, so I'm going to make one with the feta. And then as we serve it up, you don't want the dressing to be a river on it. You don't want it to there it goes all over the place. You don't want it to go all over the place. You just want to make a drizzle on it. Because sometimes I think salads get ruined by too much dressing. Now to me that looks perfect. So that would be my wedge salad. Easy peasy. Right? Something easy you can do. You can have all these ingredients ready, or you can throw it together. But if you're having a party or having some girlfriends over or having some couples over, how nice does that present? Something easy and tasty.
Well, Marty, I'm very excited about this. Can you make the one now with the feta cheese?
All right, I'll make one for Bill.
Yeah, because he's important, you know.
The cameraman's very important. Get my best angles.
Right.
Onions?
How hard is this to do? Because you were really pounding it. Is it going to be hard for me to do?
I don't think so.
Oh, that's awesome.
I find it.
I have one.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I haven't used.
Oh, this is all right. I'm going to take the first layer off because
Yeah, I think so.
this one's falling a little bit.
Well, sometimes that's what happens, right?
Carrots.
Do
No,
your
I didn't-
kids like this?
Yeah, they do. The little kids even like it. The little kids will even eat it, which is
Oh, wow.
wonderful. All right. Yeah. Break that up.
So is this a favorite thing that you like to do? I hear you're in a barbecue contest.
I am. My kids and I are having a rib off. So rib off. So last year we did it, and the boys did it. I didn't participate in it. So everybody cooks their ribs, and then we don't say whose ribs they are. I made all the sides, and then we have a competition, and everybody has to vote on them. But this year, I'm getting in it because
Why not?
I'm getting in it because I feel like I cook pretty good. So
Yeah, I think so
I'm
too.
just gonna let the boys, see if they pick mine.
Do you need
instead of theirs.
judges to come?
Well, I don't know. We'll have to see how many people I have. All right, and this one would be Bill's. That one has the feta then.
Right. That turned out really beautiful.
Yeah. Good salads. Good salads.
And we need to take a short break now, Marty, because the next thing you're making is the dessert that you're making, and then we're going to go ahead and I'm going to teach you how to make the prosciutto with fig. Oh, it's really, really good.
That sounds
And
delicious.
it's on crackers,
Yum.
which makes it with cream cheese. Okay, we'll be right back on The Chef You and I, and Marty did a marvelous job, and this recipe will be up on The Chef You and I. We'll take a short break. Okay, Mart?
Sounds good.
Okay. We're back on The Chef You and I with my friend, always, and great chef, Marty Schultes, who doesn't come often enough because she has a lot of grandchildren and another one on the way, right? Okay, so we're making your easy peach dumplings. What I love about you, you make it easy.
I like easy. I
Yeah.
do like easy.
So what would be the first thing? So let me give the, not the instruction, the ingredients. So you're going to use 1 can of sliced peaches, which you have right there. You have 1 roll of crescent rolls, a half a cup of salted butter,
Melted.
right there, 3/4 of a cup of granulated sugar right there, a half a teaspoon of vanilla, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1.5 tablespoons of flour, and 3/4 of a cup of lemon lime soda or Sprite. Right?
Yep.
And I have a pretty big, we can get it in there, right?
I'm going to use that to mix some of the stuff up and then
Okay, so
slurry
I'm
it
going to
over.
get another cup here.
Yeah. All right, so first thing we're going to start off doing is I went ahead and unrolled the crescent rolls so they can kind of expand a little bit, but I need to dice up the peaches. You can use fresh peaches with this, or you can use canned peaches. This time of year, the peaches aren't out yet, particularly in our area, so canned peaches work just as well. Just going to dice them up a little bit.
That looks good.
I like peach desserts.
I love peaches.
One of those things you kind of just forget about. Everybody does kind of apple pie this time of year, but I do like peaches. So,
This looks delicious already.
yeah, peaches always smell so good,
We've
too.
made some pretty cool things on our show, haven't we? Over the years.
Yeah, And this is something you could even have, you know, you might be able to have some of the kids help you with too, or a younger child who's just learning how to cook and making things, because you really can't screw up dumpling kind of things. It's like little kids playing with Play-Doh.
So how old are your grandchildren?
So I have 14. The next one is 8. The next one is 4. Then there's 2 2-year-olds, a 3-month-old, and then the newest baby is coming in July. So.
So do you ever have to babysit for all of them?
I cannot do all of them.
That's a lot. Especially the 2 2-year-olds,
I
right?
say I can do the girls, I can do the boys, I can do the 2-year-olds together, but all of them is a little bit of a treat. All right, so these look pretty good. Let me just add a couple more.
Right.
Yeah, we had them at the pool yesterday.
Pool?
Yeah, the girls and I were up at the pool with all the kids, and
They're already opened?
yeah, the water was actually pretty nice. It wasn't too cold, but just keeping an eye on everybody, because
Right.
it's just a treat. All right, so we're going to use this many peaches. I think we're going to be good
You
with
think
that.
that's good with that? Okay. So
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and spray this for you.
Yes, please.
And
Yeah.
you have to put this in a preheated 350-degree oven. And this is our gourmet spray. And you don't have to put a lot in here, Marty, but what I do with it is I always take a paper towel and move it around so it doesn't stick. And the nice thing about these pans, they're so easy to clean, these 360 pans.
Oh, yeah,
It's
we've used those
unreal.
before. Those are super
Okay,
nice
so I think you
pans.
got it right
Yep,
there.
right. So I'm going to just start with 4 of them. I'm going to lay these out.
Let me move this.
I'm going to put some peaches in the fat part of the triangle. And this is why you kind of want to dice them a little thin, little bit.
That looks good.
Yeah, easy peasy. And then I'm just going to sprinkle just a little cinnamon on these. Hardest part of this recipe, honestly, is just rolling these babies up and pinching the sides. They don't have to look beautiful. They just have to be delicious.
They look
We're
good.
just going to pinch this.
But when do you put all the other stuff in it?
So we're going to do that once we get everything all
Ready to go?
put in these little packets. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just going to try to pinch. I'm probably putting a little too many in. Just put little packets in here.
That's cool. That's
Yeah,
easy
just
to do.
Roll them up. Like I said.
How long have you been making these?
Not too long. Sometimes I'll do things with apples or just cinnamon. You know how you can use these for just cinnamon rolls too.
That's a great idea,
This time of year with little peaches, it's just.
I bet your grandchildren love these.
Yeah, I do. And make sure that when you're doing these and you're rolling them up, they don't touch. You don't want them touching each other.
Because they expand.
Yeah, yeah. But we also want to get that Sprite in there too. All right, so here's 4 of them.
And this recipe will be up on the Chef You and I show as well.
Yeah. Let's pull these apart a little bit more. These got a little warm, so they're a little more fussy. They're a little bit more stretchy. He forgot the cinnamon. You missed the cinnamon.
You missed the cinnamon?
Yeah, this one. He missed the cinnamon. I'll put extra cinnamon on him later.
Okay.
Just a little bit of cinnamon inside the little packets that you want to do. Just roll these little puppies up.
Well, I can tell you our producer can't wait to have one of these. He loves peaches. He is from the Peach State, Georgia.
There you go.
Right.
All right, just get in there. All right, so you made your little packets. Again, they don't have to be perfect. Just going to leave that one go. All right, so you made your little packets. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to start, thank you. We're going to start mixing up our ingredients here.
Do you need a bowl?
Just going to tell you, do you have a big, can I have that big mixing, the big pouring bowl right there? Yes, that's it.
This?
That
you
one.
want it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to whisk this up. I just need a spoon. So this is
Do you need a
the
whisk?
butter, if you've got a whisk.
Yes,
yeah.
we do.
We're going to take the butter. We're going to take the sugar. We're going to take the flour.
So you do it all at once then?
And I'm just going to use
She's putting a half a tea. She knows what she's doing. Don't worry.
I was going to say, you feel the love for vanilla, so you put what you feel in.
That's right. I love vanilla.
And then
most cooks do not measure things; they do it by taste.
Yeah.
At least that's what I grew up with, right?
And then again, I'm just going to add some more cinnamon in here. Again, the recipe is going to be up on Kathryn's website. I feel like you do it with what you love.
Don't you need the Sprite?
Love. Not yet. Not yet. We're going to go ahead and whisk this up.
So it doesn't have any.
All right.
Okay.
We're going to pour the mixture on top of the rolls. So this is like their coating, basically. And it is going to go off a little bit, but that's okay. We're just going to coat each one with a little bit of this sugar love. What I thought was really interesting about this recipe was the Sprite. I had never really thought about that before. I'm like, that's really interesting to do that. So the Sprite then is just going to be poured in the pan.
Oh, so they're going to almost float in it. Oh, cool.
I'm going to use all the love, all the sugar love on these. All right. So we got that. Then you're going to take, I'm going to use your measuring cup. About 3/4 a cup of, you can do Sprite, you can do Mellow Yellow, you can do Mountain Dew. Let the carbonation get down a little bit.
Okay, that's 3/4 of a cup.
All right.
That looks like it.
And then what we're going to do is we're not pouring it on top of them. I'm just pouring it in here. I'm just pouring it in here.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah, we're not doing
I mean, I think your grandchildren would love to make
Oh
this.
my gosh. Throw some vanilla ice cream on this.
Just like you said, doing it with Play-Doh. Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. All right, there you go.
Okay.
And now we're going to pop that in to the oven at 350.
All right, how high do you want that rack?
Probably up one.
Okay, so let me do
Yeah,
it.
so I like to bake on the medium rack, the rack that's right in the middle when I'm doing any baking or anything, just because I feel like that's the most even place in the oven.
Okay, girl.
All right. Again, if you like apples, do this with apples. If
There,
you,
Marty.
you like pears,
Right?
do it with pears.
Right
Perfect.
there?
Perfect. All right, uncovered. We're just going to pop this in the oven there. We go. And then we're going to give it about 20, 25 minutes, 30, 35, 40 minutes. Sorry about that.
Okay, so let me put the timer on.
Yeah. And then we'll pull them out.
You want 30 minutes?
35 minutes.
35?
35 minutes.
But we
35
could
40
check
minutes.
it, right?
Yeah, I would definitely check it after about 20 minutes and just see, depending on your oven, mine runs a little hot.
Okay, it's on.
All right, and we're all set. And
We're
we're
all
going to
set.
wait till they get done, nice and crispy, and
It's going
heat
to
'em
be
up.
great. So
Yep.
the next thing we're making is going to be the prosciutto, which I found this wonderful recipe online, and we'll give them credit for it. So it's the prosciutto, basil, fig jam, sorry about that, fig jam, and I'm using Philadelphia cream cheese, which I like better than goat cheese right now because I think it tastes good. And then we're going to use little crackers or little croissant things or whatever you want to use. And we're going to put those, and that's going to be our appetizer. Does that sound good?
I love things you can just pick up and eat. Yep.
So we're
sounds
going to
wonderful.
we're going to take a short break, and we're going to be right back with Marty Schultes and Kathryn Raaker on The Chef You and I. We'll be right back. Marty and I today are going to make a really cute appetizer that everybody can make. And I found these really cool crackers at Kroger's.
Nice.
And they're olive oil crackers, which are different.
They look good.
So we don't have to add the olive oil that was in this recipe, okay? So here's what we're doing. Instead of using a baguette, we're using crackers, coarse salt, fresh ground pepper. We're going to use cream cheese that we softened, and we're going to use this wonderful, wonderful fig jam, or, whatever you have in the refrigerator, right? And we're slices of prosciutto and leaves from basil leaves. So these are fresh basil leaves that Marty just took off. And so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to spread about 1 tablespoon, Marty, while she's cutting up. They want you to half the prosciutto because these are small crackers. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to spread the cream cheese, right, onto the cracker. Well, this is so simple, right?
This would be an easy way to put together just a little appetizer if people are coming over.
Right.
You know, if you have all this in your fridge, just get it ready to go.
And you want to sit down with your guests. You don't want to be cooking the whole time, right?
Right.
So,
and I do like the idea that they do have an option on this recipe to put it on a bruschetta or a little croissant or, you know, something, you know,
baguette.
where you would have to bake it a little bit if you had a little bit more time. But to me, this is like the perfect summertime appetizer.
Absolutely. When I was thinking about it, I was thinking, what am I going to do with this? Because we've done this before. We've done bruschetta before. And
I think it's one of those things you kind of forget.
Yeah, you do forget. So this is really simple. And I think you're going to love it. How many little packets? How many do you
2,
have?
4, 6, 8, 10. I got 10.
And you're going to take some home, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you could do the rest of them.
Okay.
But we'll save a lot for the producer because he loves this, right?
Maybe. We'll see
Maybe.
about that.
It all depends, right? How he treats us, right? So anyhow, this recipe will be up on the Chef You and I. And our latest recipe is up there already. And it was absolutely the most delicious stew I've ever made in my whole life.
Oh, yum.
With stout beer.
Oh, that's
Stout
different.
beer, and that recipe, and it's even on YouTube. It's been on television for quite a while now, about a week or two, which I'm really excited about. How many do we have there? Let me know.
All right. 4, 6, 8,
So
10,
this is really simple.
12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Right. But you can use goat cheese if you like goat cheese, or any kind of, any kind of soft cheese. But this has kind of got a little sweetness to it, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. I think
These crackers.
sweetness is going to be good with.
Yeah, I think so too.
And I like the idea that it's something a little bit different than, here's a bag of chips, here's some salsa, here's some, I do like the fact that it kind of ups the game a little bit.
Okay, so now what you can do is, the next thing you do is you actually put the prosciutto onto this. Wait a minute, let's see when you put the jam in. Oh, and then you add the jam. Now I'm doing the jam now, right? Hold on.
All right, so you're going to put the jam on next.
It's the first time we've made this, so just bear with us a minute.
Yeah, they have such interesting jams out right now, too. So, such interesting different flavors together.
Yeah, I know. I love it.
Like instead of, like when I grew up, it was strawberry or grape or,
Right.
but now they have just such interesting flavors
So
of jam.
look at this.
Yeah,
Is
just
this
a
pretty
titch,
or what?
Just need a titch of it. Just
Okay, so then you put the prosciutto on it.
top.
And then
Then
we put the actual
basil
bay
leaf.
leaf on it.
Basil leaf. Yep.
Basil, not bay leaf. That would be dumb. Anyhow, one of my doctor friends that you haven't met yet, who's a doll baby, she actually has grow lights everywhere in her house. And she's been growing all winter long, everything from strawberries to everything that's out there.
Oh, wow.
And she said the strawberries are a little bit tough. And I said, usually if they're growing outside, right, you actually have to, about a year before you get really great strawberries. Mm-hmm. Am I right? I think so. So she said, maybe you're right. And so anyhow, she's going to tell me how great the strawberries are. But I'd love to get some grow lights. Mm-hmm. I just don't know where I'd put them. But I think we got it.
I think that's a commitment. When you do something like that, it is a commitment.
You saw my rose bush. I showed you the rose bushes and all the new stuff that we have out there.
Oh.
And you got to spray the rose bushes. I'll tell you, I had to go out and cut that rose bush, and it was so beautiful. But
let's do one more.
The deer, right? The deer are actually decided that they want to eat everything this year.
All right.
I mean everything. We'll let the producer have some of this so that he can try it.
Yeah.
So you don't have to bake it or anything. It's already done. See how fast that was?
Yeah.
So we'll make a couple extra for us.
Now, see, I'm going to make one for me, but I'm going to slice up this one a little bit.
Okay. All right.
I'm just going to chop mine up a little bit.
Here we go. So we have two more.
Although it's probably easier just to put a whole leaf on them.
Yeah, I don't quite understand that, but what can we do?
Yeah.
You know,
All right.
got one more and that's it. So now you learned how to make it. Let me give that recipe one more time. And that is you need around 4 to 5 ounces of either goat cheese or cream cheese. You need one small jar, and this is really not a small jar. I would consider a small jar about that big, wouldn't
Very
you?
small. Yeah.
And
very small one.
you know, slices of prosciutto, which we used a package basically, and leaves from fresh basil. So I think we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 10 or 12 basil leaves. And they can be small. They don't have to be big. And if they are big, you might have to cut them in half, right? And then all you do is just assemble it. So we assembled it with actually putting it onto the cracker. We put the jam on it, and then we put the prosciutto on it, and then we put the green basil leaf on it.
I think it's interesting because it's different tastes too.
Yeah.
I think it'll go wonderful here because one's a little salty, one's a little sweet.
Right.
Nice cracker. It just ups the game of an appetizer.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
So we'll be right back on The Chef You and I, where you'll find this recipe. And thank you so much. We'll be right back. We're back on The Chef You and I. And Marty, we are making a Wagyu by Hassel Cattle Company. And we have a
Denver steak
Denver steak
and a skirt steak.
and a
skirt steak? Is that
skirt steak, right.
Yeah, that's
A
what I
deck
thought.
steak and a skirt steak that we're using. You can use anything. Actually, you could use stew meat, but then it's not as tender as these are. So we're going to, and so we have bok choy, we have broccoli, we have cauliflower, onions, we have shredded carrots and onions to put into it
And
with
peppers.
it. And peppers. And soy sauce. So we're ready to go. So let's start chopping. So I'm going to chop up this. See how easy that is to chop up? And she's doing all the vegetables because Marty's a real vegetable girl, right?
I do like vegetables. I like bok choy too.
Yeah, bok
think it's
choy is
one of
really
those.
good. And I use that Chinese cabbage, but they didn't have any. So they didn't have a lot of Asian vegetables when I went to the store. So that was about what I came up with. So you want to make sure that the meat's not in too big of pieces. So you see me chopping this up. So they're about like that, right? And so anyhow.
Now, I've not had that before, and you say that
haven't?
beef is amazing.
Okay, so this is the deck steak. Now I'm going to cut this up. And what I like about Wagyu is so delicious. And if you've never had Hassel cattle's, you have to try it. It's excellent. And you know what? The cool thing about his products is you can buy them online. And he has rubs and he has different things, fajita. And he goes out and demonstrates all over the country. They're a cool company because they're 3 decades old.
I was going to ask you, it's a family company,
It's
right?
a family company. And I work with lots of family companies because I'm a family company, right? So now if you owned the bank, that would be a different story.
I'd give myself a raise.
Yeah, you give yourself a raise. I know. I used to work in the finance industry. I remember how it was. Yeah, right.
I'm
So
just going to chop these a little
anyhow,
rough.
we're
here.
going to use a lot of steak here because you can save this. You can freeze it, which I love. And I made a stew last week with the beef. And I have to tell you, Marty, it turned out. It was a stout beer with it. And what a lot of people don't understand is when you use anything that has alcohol in it, it burns off.
Yeah.
So, you know, don't
Well,
worry
just
about
put the
it.
wrong thing in the wrong bin there. Ah,
Yeah. So you want a little fat on this because it gives it flavor. And I love doing it on the grill. We just cleaned our grill out, actually.
Oh, it's that
And
time of year, though.
It's that time of year, and you know, 4th of July is coming up, so we're going to use this, you know, for our kind of Memorial Day and maybe 4th of July show. it's a little early for that, but we can do another 4th of July show as well. Because last year, I think we did blueberry cupcakes, and it was really a cool thing. So are you doing a big 4th of July thing with your kids?
Maybe.
But you got a daughter that's going to have a baby, so you're not
she's
sure.
due in July, so we're
kind of looking.
we're on the lookout, right?
Yeah, right.
Of how much everybody's willing to do. Lots of little kids in my family, and so I'm sure it'll be a lot of time up at the pool and out to the parks and things like that. You got to keep them busy in the summer.
Yeah, you do. So those are done. So they're actually ready to go, and I'm going to get a plate for it and put them on a plate, because once we do the beef, right, once we fry the beef up or stir fry the beef up, then you add all the vegetables. That's the way I do it.
Okay.
Because it takes a little time to do the meat, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right?
Now, do you pull your meat out then and do the vegetables, or you put it all together? Do it all together?
I do it all together.
Oh, okay.
You can do it that way. I could take the beef out and then just do the thing and then add the beef to it. I can. Whatever you feel like doing, but I want to get the beef done.
Yeah.
So that's important. So anyhow, I'm going to move this one, and that way we can get that. So we're going to start doing the meat. While she's cutting our vegetables up, we're going to do that. So I've already put some olive oil, and if the cameraman can come over here for a minute. I put a little bit of oil in it already, right? And I'm going to turn it on. And with the 360 pans, hold on. With the 360 pans, you do not want to put the temperature up really high. So I'm going to salt and pepper these, because I'm going to put them in. And then we're not putting any flour or anything on them on stir fry. So this is a lot of beef. So I want to get this to, you can see little bubbles in it. And once you get to that point, then you start putting it in. And you have to do this really fast, because that's the way it's done in stir fry. So that's the reason why. You can always use frozen vegetables or whatever, but I thought it would be nice to have fresh vegetables in this one, if you understand that. So here we go. I think we're getting to the point where we can start putting this in. Okay, and I'm going to shut this. And I'm going to use one of these. So let's just try it and see if it's hot enough. See, it's starting to, like I said. Right. And I would I'm not going to turn the fan on. It should be all right. Okay. I can. Let's do that, because we don't want our smoke detector to go off. Right, Marty?
I had that happen the other week.
It's not funny. Because you got to open the door, and you got to do a lot of different things.
I had to put a fan in the window. It was pretty awful.
I'm going to get something so it doesn't splash. We have a wonderful thing here, which I love. And it fits right up here, so it doesn't splash all over the stove that you have to clean, right? So you want to do this. Right. And I'm going to spray it with some more of the duck fat spray wherever it went. It's right over here. And you could put the vinaigrette, you could put the vinegar on it, but we're not going to do that this time. We're just going to, I didn't mean to do that. Oh well. But that actually, what I just did, gives it flavor. So you want to get this till it's not red inside. Here we go. So it's starting to brown, and that's exactly what you want. So let's put this on top of it and let it go for a few minutes, and I'll turn it down a little bit, and then we'll go from there. So we'll come back to that in just a little while, but do you need help with the vegetables? It looks like you got everything done.
I think I'm getting them okay here, just chopping them up. Now,
Okay.
I'm going to probably, what I do with peppers is I try to rough cut them enough and keep the seeds out of it, but I'm going to rinse them then to get the seeds.
I would.
The rest of the
I
seeds
usually
out
do
of.
that. Let me get you a bowl for that.
Yeah, just get the rest of the seeds out of these.
And I'll get the seeds out for you, okay?
All right, so if you could just take those and rinse those up. I think I'll just do one or two
Yeah.
more.
Right.
I think that'll be plenty of stir-fry vegetables here.
Yeah, I think so too. And, right.
All right.
Okay. These look good.
Yeah, I think that's, I got one more then.
Really? Okay, we're doing it fast. Here we go.
All right. There's just one more.
All right, so
I think we've got enough of everything. I don't think I'll cut any more onion because between the green onion and that, there's plenty of onion in there.
there's plenty of onion. You don't want a lot of onion in it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm going to turn this up a little. This is doing really well.
Oh, those pans are so nice. Oh
It's
my
so
gosh.
nice. I'll tell you what, these things last forever.
Oh.
And I have some older ones from when Bill and I first got married, almost a few years ago, right? I won't say how many. And I got to tell you, they never wear out. I mean, and they stay so clean. But you know what? 360 has a powder that you can use. Oh, so anyhow, I have to shut those.
Yeah.
But you can see how fast this is getting done.
Oh, yeah.
So then what I want to do is I'll bring the vegetables in a minute, but I'm not going to put them on top of the meat. I'm going to put the meat in a separate bowl, and then I'll put it back together in a minute, okay?
Okay.
Because I want to get those vegetables done.
Yeah.
But we're almost there with it.
Looks good.
Yeah,
Looks
it
really
does.
good.
And so if you've got a big crowd of people, this is a great way to serve something that's really tasty, right?
I love stir fry. My
do
family
too.
loves stir fry.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's the greatest thing they ever came
I like
up
it's
with.
one dish.
Yeah, I do too. I like that idea. So I think what I'm going to do in a second is turn it off, and then I'm going to put this on here, all right? And then we can bring the other vegetables and put them in here. And wait a second, Marty.
Good.
All right.
That is a lot of
But you
beef.
see, that's a lot of meat, so you're going to get a lot out of it. So you could actually freeze some of this meat, right, for another one if you were just doing it for like 3 or 4 people.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, instead of, because the thing about stir fry is I like the vegetables not to be wilted totally.
Yeah, a little crisp.
Crisp,
A
right.
little crisp.
Right, so I'm doing that. And then I'm going to pour this juice off for a minute. Oops. Come here, kid.
Looks wonderful.
I know. I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to get these gloves real quick. Then I'm going to pour this out. And I'm going to rinse it a little bit. It still has the flavor in it, right? Then I'm going to add, come on. I'm going to add the vegetables real quick.
All right.
Okay?
Now,
I add a little bit more of that,
a little olive oil.
and I use this because I don't want them to stick. Okay?
Little spray.
So
all right.
I need to start with those.
Yeah.
Those take the longest.
Right, right.
So here's what we're going to do. And you got the bok choy there, which is so beautiful. And it doesn't take long to do this. And I need the onions. We can save some of this.
All right. Do you want some of the green onions or the red
Yeah.
onions?
Both.
All right. I'm going to give you some of the green onions. Get you some of the red onions in there.
All
right.
right.
Tell me when you want the peppers.
Yes.
Go
With
ahead.
the peppers.
Go ahead and
All
get
right.
the
So
pepper.
Yeah, did you give me, carrots?
And some carrots.
That's great.
All right. So we've got cauliflower, broccoli, bok choy, carrots,
Yeah.
onions, peppers.
And we have, did you give me the red onion yet?
Yeah, I already
we
put it
did?
in.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to stir it. And you don't want it to get to the point of being smushy.
Yeah.
And I'm going to turn this down a little because it doesn't take long to do this.
What a nice sized pan for that too.
Yeah, well, this is
That is just the nicest sized pan.
yeah,
I
this
think.
is the stir fry pan.
Oh, okay.
And I personally have the whole set and use everything they have because it makes so much sense to have it. And this is one of the things that when they first sent it to me, I was testing it out. I'm going to cover this for a few minutes. And we're going to take a little short break, and we're going to be right back as the vegetables start getting a little bit, but they're still crisp, and then adding the beef, and then we're going to serve it, Marty.
Great. Sounds
We'll have
good.
everything, okay? We'll be right back on The Chef You and I. We're back on The Chef You and I, and this is the part I love because this is where we get to enjoy all the food that we
The
made.
fruits of the labor.
Right. So tell them what you made first.
Okay. So we made a wedge salad here with bacon, tomatoes, carrots, red onions. Some have blue cheese crumbles and some have feta cheese crumbles, and we topped it with just a drizzle of ranch dressing. And then for dessert, we have like a little peach tart that was actually baked with Sprite with a lemon lime soda, which it just is amazing to me. It turns out so well. Sprinkled a little bit of powdered sugar on them. And if you have a so taste for it, I would serve that with ice cream too.
Yeah, I think so too. And then the prosciutto with the basil leaf, the fig jam, and also the cream cheese.
Yep.
And then we made stir fry. And you did a great job on these, all the vegetables.
Smells so good. Oh my gosh.
It is good. And I'm sending home some stuff with you because I know your kids are going to love it. And it smells so good. It's still steaming. And we want to thank all of our sponsors, Marty, and I want to thank you for coming and giving up your Sunday for me. And that is the Cornhuskers gourmet duck fat spray. And also we have the newest one, which is the balsamic vinegar spray by Cornhuskers, and it's gourmet, and you can use it on everything. I could have used it on the beef, but I didn't. And also the 360 pans, which you saw us do the wonderful pans and how wonderful they are. And for our meat that they sent us, the Hassel cattle meat, which is Wagyu. And when you taste it, Marty, you're going to absolutely love it. It's just so tender. And so all of these are a great meal for your family or your guests that are coming. We want to thank you
You're welcome.
for coming today. And we want to thank everyone. And bon appetit. We'll see you soon on Kathryn Raaker's The Chef You and I. And don't forget to look for the recipes up there on The Chef You and I. See you soon.
Thanks for joining us on the Chef You and I show today. We'll be back next week with another great and healthy recipe. Don't forget to visit our website, thechefyouandi.com, for all of our featured recipes, cooking tips, and clips of the show.